If you only have a Performance Max campaign for your e-commerce store, you're missing sales. After 20 years managing and teaching Google Ads, this is the right way to run Performance Max that's working great for my Shopify clients. So in this video, I'll show you the simple strategy that consistently performs better, and it only takes a few minutes to do. People see Performance Max and say, ooh, I can reach audiences across all of Google with a single campaign. It sounds great. And to be fair, that's exactly why so many smart store owners buy into it. But this leads to lazy thinking and poor results. You see, Performance Max distributes your budget evenly like your year 2 PE teacher, giving everyone a participation level, whether you did well or not. This happens in all campaigns, but I see it chronically in Performance Max. When you make this mistake, you donate Google your profits on a silver platter. And the frustrating part is it usually doesn't look broken. We had a client with this exact issue. Within a couple of months of us coming on board, they started hitting targets again with uncapped budgets. The surprising thing here is that established stores can fall into the same mistake. The store I just mentioned had a decade worth of data. And that's important because this isn't a lack of data problem. It's a setup problem. The good news is there's a simple fix that's fast to do. The key change is separating high intent searches from low intent searches. But keep watching until the end because there's a tricky gotcha to avoid. You see, high intent searches like your brand name, the brands you stock, or specific product attributes that have historically performed well are bottom of funnel searches. That means they're close or ready to buy. So they need to be in their own dedicated campaign. By doing this, you can control spend for those higher value searches. And this is the key point. High intent and low intent searches should not be competing in the same budget because they're not doing the same job. That's the structural mistake I mentioned at the start. So now let me show you exactly how to fix this without creating overlap or starving the wrong campaign. Step 1, review all search terms from all your campaigns, live and paused, and identify any that drove conversions from high intent searches. You can eyeball this data yourself or use a Google Ads script to extract the data. Take note of the conversion value over cost, which is ROAS, the metric, for these high intent searches. This gives you a list of queries that have already proven they deserve special treatment. Step 2, add these terms to a negative keyword list named something like high intent. Wrap the searches in square brackets so they're an exact match. That exact match detail matters because then you're only including the high converting searches. Step 3, assuming you've only been running one Performance Max or shopping campaign, create a second shopping campaign. I recommend a standard shopping campaign. And yes, there's a reason I'm bringing standard shopping into a Performance Max strategy in 2026. This is where it earns its place. Step 4, review all search terms from your original campaign that's been running both low and high intent. Filter out all the high intent searches. Save the low intent terms to a new negative keyword list, exact match, and name it, something like low intent queries number 1. At this point, you've effectively separated the two intent buckets. Now we need to make sure Google treats them differently. Step 5, set the bidding strategy as target ROAS for both campaigns. Make your original campaign the high intent campaign and set it at the historical conversion value cost achieved by those high intent searches. For the low intent campaign, set it slightly below that. That way, your strongest searches are held to the standard they've already shown they can hit, while the low intent traffic has room to explore without dragging everything down. And step 6, set campaign priorities. High intent equals a low priority. Low intent equals high priority. This is one of those counterintuitive settings that makes more sense once you see how the next step directs the traffic. Step 7, apply the negative keyword list correctly. To do this, apply the branded high intent list to the low intent campaign. Apply the low intent queries number 1 list to the high intent campaign. Get this part right and you've funneled traffic to the right places. Get it wrong and the traffic will leak across campaigns. Step 8, apply a shared budget across both campaigns. And this is the gotcha I mentioned earlier. A common mistake is trying to game the setup by giving the low intent campaign a smaller or separate budget. When that budget runs out, low intent searches not yet added as negatives can spill into your high intent campaign. Using a shared budget early ensures high intent traffic isn't diluted. Later, as you refine negatives and performance stabilizes, you can split budgets. So early on, don't optimize for control at the cost of clean traffic separation. Protect the structure first. Once live, refine negatives as searches come in and monitor results. Even strong accounts take time to ramp up. And how do you refine negatives? Use the method from the first step. That's what keeps the system getting smarter over time. You're continuously teaching each campaign what belongs where. And once you've done this, Performance Max stops acting like a black box and starts behaving more like a controlled growth channel. Now you're using Performance Max the right way, splitting out the high intent from low intent keywords. There's still dozens of other ways Google Ads can chew up your budget without you realizing it. And that's the bigger picture. This is only one leak. So to fix that, I made this video to show you the biggest and most common Google Ads budget drainers and how to fix the leaks. Watch that here.